Like, it's just like, you don't need to record vertically, except this isn't even vertically, this
Man,
is like, what is this?
look at that ratio, though.
Yeah, that ratio is, that is, yikes, I can feel it. What is this aspect ratio? That's all I have to say. Like, looking into YouTube settings, I see that it's apparently automatic, the highest is 480p for some reason, so that's already not too good. But
Because
like,
this man never edits his video.
yeah, that's also another huge problem with him. He doesn't edit for shit. Apparently he doesn't know how to do that yet. He apparently has a next-gen PC.
Here we go.
Oh dear god, what is this? Just described his channel to a T. Also, shout out to Harwood's Belly for anchoring that fat bastard to his chair for so long. Unironically true.
Oh yeah.
Not once over the past week have I heard anyone discuss the gameplay or what Palworld actually is as a game. All I've seen is people try to gaslight you into thinking the game is completely original and not an infringement on Pokemon's copyright.
Here's the thing, alright, here's the thing. First of all, Palworld was announced like 2 fucking years ago, and Nintendo and the Pokemon Company did not give a shit back then. Then Palworld came out, and the Pokemon Company still didn't give a shit. The only reason why they came out with an announcement is because dipshits like Harmon Smith over here were basically screaming and crying to Nintendo, basically saying, "Please explode their penis immediately!" And that's basically about it. Both of the studios, both Nintendo and the Palworld developers, I can't remember their name off the top of my fucking head. What is it? Hang on. Pocket Pair, that's what it is.
Yep.
Both Nintendo and Pocket Pair, they're both situated in Japan, meaning that Nintendo is going to give even less of a shit.
And the funny thing is, he calls it a copyright, but actually, Palworld was inspired by many genres.
Yeah, Palworld was inspired by a lot of different fucking genres. Pokemon just so happens to be one of the most prominent ones, but of course it's also inspired by a bunch of other types of games, like, you know, games like...
It's even got elements from, like, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom in there because of the glider and everything,
Yeah.
but, like, that's inspiration.
Yeah, like... Even, like, I honestly can almost compare it to, like, if Pokemon and Fortnite had a child. Like, that's the best way I can describe it. And it's like an amazing child, if you will. It's like a straight-A student, in my opinion. Like, it's like one of those, like, gifted kids, if you will.
They've been bending over backwards trying to say it's better than Pokemon, it does more things than Pokemon does. And
Well, I mean, that's just objectively true. It does do more things than Pokemon does. It's
Because
basically...
it's basically a game that people are already saying this is the Pokemon game that they always wanted.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's, like, the furthest from, like, being a Pokemon game, and that's the funniest bit. Like, people are comparing this shit to Pokemon when it is very far from even being a Pokemon clone, if you will, and I'm putting clone in huge quotation marks here. But people, like, legitimate Pokemon fans are playing this game and going like, this is what I wish Pokemon was actually like. Like... And that's the thing, I guarantee you, quotes like that probably set Harmon Smith off because he can't bear to imagine that his favorite shining piece of plastic, his favorite golden boy, has any flaws. Listen, Harmon, I have no idea if you need to hear this, but, Miyamoto is not going to blow you, and he will not let you blow him.
it couldn't be more obvious that the
everyone,
people
though.
saying this are not Pokemon fans. I've been saying this since it started, but I do think it's time.
Yes, the people who, you know, point out the fact that Pokemon has been, like, falling off for quite some time here are apparently not legitimate Pokemon fans because they don't blow off the Pokemon Company every single fucking generation.
I have a theory. Game
Alright.
Freak is not going to release another good Pokemon game, and they're just going to completely destroy their reputation.
I mean, haven't they been doing that for the past, like, what, like, I don't know, since when has Pokemon been transitioned into, like, 3D?
After Gen 4.
Alright, there we go, that's about how long they've been falling off for, so, yeah, they've just been kind of slowly doing that for however long that has been going on, so I hate to break it to you, Harmon, but, even Game Freak doesn't fucking care about Pokemon anymore, and they haven't for a while.
Man, every video, I swear sanity, his hairline just gets worse and worse.
I mean, that's just true. Oh, wait, hang on. I'm just gonna quickly throw in a meme real quick here. Hang on. This was something that was sent in my server a few... I think it was either today or yesterday. I can't fucking remember for the life of me, but it's a pretty good one.
I've seen that one floating around a couple of times. Yeah, Harmon, this is the kind of shit that Game Freak is releasing now. Broken crap shit games that just don't even work properly.
Like, here's the thing. Here's the quote that's... Alright, go ahead, finish.
You know, Legends Arceus was way better developed than Scarlet and Violet.
Here's a quote that still sticks with me from my live stream. My friend Warren basically mentioned this when I was just, you know, kind of like just asking, like, you know, what's the main difference between, like, the last two Pokemon games. All Warren had to say about it was just, well, Generation 8 was at least functional, but that's really about it.
Now that it's been a week to kind of address the elephant in the room, and that is the fact that the gameplay itself is wholly unoriginal, right? The gameplay is not fun. The game is unfinished. It's glitchy. It's buggy. It is objectively not a good video game.
All right, let's quickly unpack all that. First of all, wholly unoriginal. You're gonna have to try and define that because, in essence, pretty much every single fucking game has some level of unoriginality to it. It's usually the gameplay loops and just like other aspects of the game that usually keep people coming back to them. Something that Pokemon has been failing to do for the past fuck knows how long at this goddamn point. But also, here's the thing, okay? So, the gameplay is not fun. Well, that's completely subjective, because I personally find the gameplay loop of Palworld to be pretty decently fun. Let's see here. What else did he mention? The game is unfinished? Well, yeah, no fucking shit, because it's in early fucking access.
Glitchy and buggy. Look, Harmon. Look at Scarlet and Violet, Harmon. Just look at those two games.
Look at Scarlet and Violet on release, and then come back to us, Harmon. At least Palworld is actually, like, you know, trying to patch out some game-breaking bugs, like, you know, like, when they actually come out. And here's the thing, I haven't really come across too many, like, bugs or anything like that, and so far, the most major one that I've at least come across with Palworld is actually from someone else, someone who he's actually going to be bringing up by name here later on in this video, I believe. But, like, apparently, like, having too many pals inside of a box will apparently, like, cause a game to crash, but I have no idea if that's just, like, a system problem, or if that's, like, a game problem. But even still, I expect that, Palworld, that Pocket Pair are going to be fixing that at some point soon.
Speaking of Harmon bringing people up, he also sent his little Nintendrone idiots to attack Justin after he made a post on Harmon.
God fucking damn it, you spoiled it. He brings up Justin DMs later on in this video. I was keeping him a surprise.
I just saw from one of my major detractors, the guy who tags me every day, Justin DMs.
There he is.
Oh yeah, the guy you harass and cyberbully every day, Harmon, because he's basically spitting facts about your garbage videos.
I still will never get over that one fucking community post that he made where I was like taking down a Quantum TV fanboy, and then he made like an entire like Yu-Gi-Oh scene out of it. That was just funny in my opinion. I
just saw that he admitted he had to drop the game because it was crashing on him near constantly.
Gotta be that Cheeto.
Well, what do you know? A couple hours after this video was released, Justin DMs came out with a community post stating, "Oh yeah, I figured out what the problem was and I managed to fix it, and now I'm back in, baby."
And I've seen a bunch of people like come out and say, "Oh, that's not happening, it's rigged or whatever." Well, first of all, that's proof that PC gaming is fundamentally flawed.
Oh, there he goes.
Says the one who is using a fucking Nintendo Switch that is in dire need of an upgrade, mind you, an upgrade that they are, you know, I hate to break it to you, Harmon, but they are working on a Switch 2. They are working on it. Okay? I can't wait for that I can't wait for that console to actually come out and for Harmon Smith to like suddenly switch his tune and go like, "Oh, it's the greatest console of all time. Oh, it's the greatest thing ever. Please, please let me ride your cock, Shigeru Miyamoto."
The other thing this idiot likes to forget is that the GameCube was the best Nintendo console that released.
Yeah.
Besides the Super Nintendo and the original Nintendo Entertainment System,
The
which
old,
I grew
the old
up with.
Nintendo systems genuinely slap hard, and it kind of sucks that my only experience with them is through emulators and whatnot. But here's the thing: my first
Kirby,
I think if I remember correctly, the first game that I ever seriously played was an emulated version of fucking Earthbound on my fucking tablet.
You know, what he likes to forget is that getting ROMs from games that are no longer sold, like really old games, it's not a fucking crime. It only applies to, like, newer games, not the older ones.
Yeah, older games that, you know, don't really, like, exist in circulation anymore, that's called preservation. Something that, well, Nintendo seems to be fucking allergic to.
If like simply having a different build can result in an entire game crashing on you to the point where it becomes unplayable. But like, second of all, right, like the issue is clear, right? Palworld has a lot of technical problems.
Well, no shit, because it's an early access game, and they are currently ironing out those issues.
Hey, Harmon, already came out with a roadmap for Craftopia and Palworld. Cope, seethe, and mold harder.
But yeah, like, here's the fucking thing. Here's the fucking thing, right? Unlike Pokemon games that end up getting released, like, really fucking buggy and broken, they don't have an excuse because they are supposed to be finished, polished products, or at least polished enough to the point where they're actually fucking playable, which 9 times out of 10 they don't end up coming out as, and fucking, you know, the fucking Nintendo company has to come in and actually try to fix shit, you know, after they end up releasing what they're trying to push as like a fully finished and polished product. With Palworld, they at least have the excuse of it being an early access and that they're still working on the fucking game, but it's still in a good enough state to where it's at least playable and, well, I guess in some ways completable if you really want to try and look at it like that. Although I don't really see like a clear objective in mind. It's at least understood that there is at least enough in the game for it to at least elicit enough enjoyment.
The only problem I only had with Palworld was like a little bit of a FPS hit, but that's it.
Yeah, that's so far been my only problems with Palworld, and that's something that I can easily gloss over because I'm used to Elden Ring, and Elden Ring is pretty much, I mean, Souls games for PC ports are notorious for, like, not exactly having the best carryover in terms of, like, its FPS problems, and that's just, like, a common thing across any fucking Souls game, but at least when it comes to Souls games, they at least adjust themselves according to, like, your frame rate and whatnot, so that way you aren't basically getting fucked and railed by your fucking computer.
But, like, it's the same thing with Sunken Land with the FPS sometimes, but, like, I know, but later on, these developers are going to optimize the games after, like, they work on the updates a little bit more.
Yeah, they're more than likely working on, like, optimization and fixing some of the more game-breaking shit. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, in one of the next updates, Pocket Pair actually releases an update that fixes the crashing issue.
Hey, you know,
that seems to be one of the biggest ones.
That people are not acknowledging because they want to focus on like how it's allegedly superior to Pokemon.
No, they just aren't really acknowledging all that much because it's still in early access and the devs seem to be passionate enough that they are actually actively fixing some of the more major bugs.
What is wrong with this dude?
I don't know what it is with Harmon, but like in every single video, it always ends up turning into some sort of tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, red wires all over the corkboard kind of conspiracy theory of how like every single new release is apparently like, you know, something that's like talked up in order to only solely bring down Nintendo. When that's not the case. It's just that people enjoy those games, people are having fun with those games, and there are just things that Harmon Smith willingly fucking ignores because he is either just way too dense or is just way too fucking full of himself, or maybe a combination of the two. I don't fucking know.
You know, never mind that they're completely different genres, and in the genre that Palworld is in, there are several better alternatives.
Funnily enough, at least as far as I've gotten into his video, he does not bother to bring up any of the, quote, better alternatives. I guarantee you he'd probably bring up something like Ark Survival Evolved or something like that, and here's the thing. Ark is probably one of the worst fucking examples because Ark fucking sucks.
It is. Look at Ark Ascended. That game fucking died so bad. It was
Like, I
bad.
do think that's the core issue when thinking about Palworld discourse, is that, like, oh, this is what Pokemon should be. Well, okay, but
Yeah, it
this
should
isn't
be.
what
That's how
Pokemon is.
Pokemon should be.
Yeah. I mean,
That's how Pokemon
that's
should
a
be.
great that's a great argument there, Harmon Smith. Well, people are saying that this is what Pokemon should be. Well, I mean, it's not what Pokemon is, so I mean, my brother in Christ, that's precisely the problem. That's precisely the problem. It's that Pokemon fucking sucks.
He doesn't get that, like, Palworld already basically destroyed Pokemon's sales numbers.
I mean, here's the thing, it beat out fucking Elden Ring sales numbers. That should be saying something. It beat out fucking Elden Ring of all games. And Elden Ring was sitting as, like, the top fucking dog for a good while. And an early access game at that. It's an early access game, it's not even finished yet! And he can't bear to fucking... He can't bear with that. He sees this as, like, the biggest fucking, like, affront to God himself, apparently. And he feels the need to whip on his shitty fucking potato camera that only records at 270p with the worst aspect ratio known to man and fucking spew bullshit that he doesn't fucking understand.
Should be. Well, okay, but this isn't what Pokemon is. And second of all, like, there are alternatives to Palworld, right?
And are you going to bring those up, Harmon, or are you just going to leave us in the fucking dark?
Name,
Because here's the thing, he can't bring up alternatives because there are no alternatives that are available on the Switch.
There are games that do what Palworld does, but better. But again, like, that's not why the game blew up the way it did. It's not why YouTubers religiously defended it. It's not why people were talking about it so much. No, the reason people thought they could use this game was that they thought it would be a massive L for the Pokemon Company.
Nope.
It is.
People are religiously talking about it because it is a surprisingly polished game for an early access game. It shows clear passion in terms of the development of this entire game. And of course, on top of that too, this was a game that was announced 2 years in advance and people were already somewhat excited for it. Then the game came out and even more people were excited for it because of just how cool it was. That, and of course, because Nintendo has been falling off so hard when it comes to Pokemon games, year after year after year after year after year, it has basically left a yearning, a burning hole in the soul of genuine Pokemon fans, who look at Pokemon almost with a sense of contempt, if you will, where they're just kind of like, well, I guess it's just going to be another slop year for us, and then Palworld comes out, and they're just kind of like, holy shit, an actually good game.
Thought they could turn it into a PR disaster. And I'm very curious if they're going to try to maintain this momentum up until Pokemon Day next month.
Well, I'm pretty sure it probably will, at least how you would view this entire narrative to be. But here's the thing, momentum is largely just going to be, oh hey, Palworld is absolutely fantastic. Oh wait, a new Pokemon game? I mean,
You know,
obviously
here's
some
the thing.
people are still going to be fucking buying the hell out of it because, well, I mean, slop is slop, and some people are really into slop like Harmon is. But, like, here's the thing. People are still going to look at, like, whatever the next Pokemon game is, and they're just going to be like, this is just the same thing.
Oh, and by the way, Harmon, it is going to keep going because as long as the devs pump out good updates, which it is going to, there's going to be new islands, new pals. My god, I already have a theory that it's going to be like fucking the damn, like, it's going to be a counterpart to No Man's Sky. It's probably going to have like infinite damn islands.
That would be funny as hell, though.
I find the timing of Palworld's release very interesting because, you know, it blew up. People, like, wouldn't shut up about it for like a day, and now it's kind of faded away. And
Wrong.
No, it hasn't.
People are still talking about it even to this fucking day. I hate to break it to you, Harmon. Or, actually, I love to break it to you, Harmon, but, Palworld is still popular. People are still talking about it.
Hey.
Hell, we're still fucking talking about it. Hell, you're still talking about it, you fucking dipshit.
and now it's like it's becoming more and more obvious that the game just doesn't really have any longevity to it at all.
Incorrect
Yes,
as
it
well.
does.
It is going
Because
to be... Because
the
first of all-
developers already made a roadmap.
Yeah, and, like, here's the thing. First of all, it's an early access game, so of course people are still going to be coming back to it, especially when major updates come out. But also,
yeah.
like, second of all, the longevity is going to be coming from the fact that it's, like, an absolutely phenomenal open world, like, survival game that involves you being able to catch monsters. I mean, hell, you can fucking catch NPCs if you truly feel ballsy enough. Ha, see what I did there?
I mean, I caught a syndicate thug and used him as a damn slave for my freaking field.
Tariff people downplayed the problems. Like, the game wasn't good to begin with, right? But you didn't see people admit it. Like, all anybody could talk about was like, oh, it sold 8 million copies. Yeah, it became a meme.
Well, no, people were talking about how good the game actually was.
Hey, Harmon, it broke 2 million players. That is more than CSGO. That is more than any Pokemon game ever made.
It is basically broken every single, like, record that previously hasn't been broken for quite some fucking time. That is saying
and now it's broken Harmon because in his shorts he misspelled a short by saying Pokemon plagiarized.
You might as well say that, like, oh, FNAF is on Five Nights at Freddy's is on par with the Super Mario Bros. Movie because those games get pumped out all the time, and the movie was successful. No,
yeah, exactly. That was a dumb fucking comparison. What the fuck kind of comparison is that?
That's like trying to compare That's like trying to compare a potato to a literal apple without any supporting evidence.
No, it's not even comparing apples to oranges or comparing potatoes to apples. This is comparing an apple to a fucking Abrams tank. Like, this just doesn't make sense. Yeah, he's comparing a fucking, like, PG-13 horror movie to a fucking kids movie. Like, my brother in Christ. They're not an equal comparison. Just because they came out roughly around the same fucking time and they're both about video games, that's really all where their similarities end.
Yeah, he's trying to compare games to movies. That is so dumb, dude. Words for this.
It is just like it is like 2 layers of a stupid comparison. Not only is he comparing 2 fundamentally different movies, but he's comparing movies to video games, which just doesn't make sense.
Like, you would be an idiot if you actually made that argument.
My brother in Christ, you just made that fucking argument.
But, like, yeah, it's the same thing with Palworld, right? Like, a plagiarized product is never, ever going to surpass the original.
Well, here's the thing. Palworld is not a plagiarized product. It's its own unique product that just so happens to be vaguely similar to Pokemon.
And has taken
like, some appearances and the fact that it's a monster catcher game. That is literally where all the similarities end. Past that, Palworld is its own fucking thing.
And the thing is, it didn't even plagiarize anything. It just took inspiration from multiple game genres. And
yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing. All of the claims that people were bringing up about, oh, this game uses AI, or, oh, this game stole fucking assets. For the second one there, even the person who tried to perpetuate that fucking claim admitted that they made it up.
And the funny thing is, like, with the AI stuff, you cannot post games on Steam without first confirming with Valve that you are using AI in your games.
Yeah.
So that's already been debunked as well.
Yeah. Not only can you not post a game on Steam that has AI components to it, but it wouldn't even be allowed on Game Pass either. It's on fucking Game Pass.
Because the original is always going to innovate and always evolve and always do new things with it. I know the...
My brother in Christ, the only innovation that Pokemon has done was transferring from 2D to 3D. That has been its only innovation so far for the past fuck knows how long.
The big meme right now among the community is that Pokemon does not evolve, but that is 100% not true.
It is true.
Oh my fucking god. I knew that this line was fucking coming. Because I went over it on fucking stream. But, like, even still, this still catches me off guard. I hate to break it to you, but the Pokemon meme of Pokemon never really truly evolving it is based in absolute fucking fact. I hate to break it to you, Harmon Smith. Pokemon has not evolved since it went into 3D. Ever since it went into 3D, that has been its last evolution, and past that, it has never really innovated. And I wouldn't really call adding in, like, maybe 5 new fucking Pokemon for each generation to really be an innovation. That's just adding on to the pre-existing thing. That's not really fucking innovation. You want to know what is innovation? Elden Ring in comparison to the other Souls games. games. Not only did it have an open world, but it also combined different aspects from other Souls games and whatnot. Like, apparently power stancing was a thing from, like, fucking Dark Souls 2 that they ended up bringing back for Elden Ring. Elden Ring introduced, like, jumping and charge attacks. Like, it's introduced a whole bunch of shit that makes it truly innovative. Meanwhile, we have fucking Pokemon, which has been remaining stagnant for the past, I'd like to say maybe 20 years or so? I don't fucking know.
Pokemon evolves and innovates more than most major franchises, right? Just look at how Pokemon manages to evolve compared to Call of Duty.
My brother in Christ, they both have the same fucking problem. Pokemon and Call of Duty have the exact same problem of remaining fucking stagnant and never really truly innovating. Like...
Call of Duty already fell off, Harmon. So
like, Harmon, this is like one of the worst fucking examples that you could bring up. You're now this isn't actually like apples to apples comparison in terms of innovation. Neither of them have innovated past their first fucking formula.
And the fact that Nintendo is slowly going on a downward spiral while other companies and developers are ahead of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, even other companies that are situated in the same fucking country as Nintendo are doing bigger numbers than Nintendo, and that is saying something.
Not looking good for you, Harmy. Not looking good for you. Harmon's not smart enough to figure that out, though.
No shit. I don't know how much more of this I can fucking take. I've already been recording for about an hour. I think I'm gonna call it for that.
Yeah, I'll sing this too.